Hello, everyone. Welcome to AWS She Builds Tech Skills. Welcome to the episode number three. Episode number two. My name is Major, and I am a solutions architect from AWS and live streaming from Sydney, Australia. And today is the second episode, and we're going to talk about how to become from the builder as AWS community builder to AWS data hero. And with that, I have a special host, Mai.
Hi everyone, my name is Shatani, Senior Solutions Architect at AWS, and happy to see you here and love to know where everyone is dialing in from. So put it in the chat.
Let us know in the chat. Yeah, we would love to know. I'm from Sydney, Australia. It's a Friday, 1 p.m. We haven't got a daylight saving, but yeah, it's a Friday here in Sydney. If you're in Sydney having a lunchtime Friday, tuning in, let us know in the chat.
No, Lebanon. Oh, see, looks like a lot of places. North Carolina, Alaska.
Welcome everyone. I haven't had lunch yet. Maybe I'll probably have lunch after. It's 1 p.m.
Awesome. So what's happening in Sydney coming up? Just love to know, May.
Well, it's a lot happening in Sydney, especially at AWS. So if you are based in Sydney, Australia, or if you're based in Australia, we do have one of the largest conference happening in Sydney. We do it every year, called AWS Summit in Sydney. So I'm going to quickly share my screen and tell you what is it all about. And Aaron, just want to quickly shout out to Aaron. Hey, Aaron, great to see you on the show, and thank you for tuning in. Cool. So we have got AWS Sydney Summits happening on the 10th of April, 2024 and 11th of April. So if you haven't signed up for that, make sure you register, and it's a free conference, and it's lots of educational content, workshop, book happening at the conference floor, and we're going to be there. Myself and Mai is going to be there on Wednesday and Thursday, so 10th of April, 11th of April. So we both going to be at the conference floor. We do have a She Builds Tech Skills booth at the conference, so make sure you come around and say hi if you're around in Sydney and you're gonna come up to the Sydney. And speaking of all the sessions, so because it's a technical show, so I want to talk a little bit about some of the session and give you a little bit of a insight into what is happening. So we have got a number of great sessions happening, and a little bit of a personal plug into the streaming. So we have a essential security practice for your software development lifecycle. So if you're a DevOps person, if you're developers or builders, just curious about security and interested in how you can incorporate security into your software development life cycles, this is one of my sessions. So make sure you come and check it out. It is happening at 10th of April from 3 to 3:30. So that is on the SDLC with security. And what about you, Mai? I know you have another sessions coming up for you as well.
Yeah, definitely. So before I plug in my session, my customer session is coming up as well. So my customers, Jared and Rob from RACQ, alongside Michael Stringer, they'll be talking about responsible AI. So if you're interested in generative AI and how to build responsibly and securely on AWS, definitely go check out that session. And my session is also, I'm not talking about generative AI, but I'll be talking with my co-speaker, who's a senior container specialist. We're both part of the container community at AWS, and we're talking about platform engineering on EKS, and not just about EKS, but using some open source tooling as well. So hopefully you get to come around and see us in person. If not, it'll be available on demand after. So yeah, you can look at all the on-demand sessions from anywhere in the world as well.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, if you can't make it in person, no worries. On demands will be available, but make sure you register. I drop the link in the chat as well. If you're coming in person, drop in the chat and let us know, or ping us on LinkedIn or share it on the on the Twitch, and let us know if you're coming, and you might be able to get some swags from us. Alrighty, so that's what's been happening. Well, in the month of March, and but we do have a special guest for today's show. So, Rai, do you want to introduce our guest for this month?
Yeah, sure. So our guest for this month, well, this week, is Wendy Wong, and she is a former community builder, and now she is an AWS hero. So she'll be talking about her journey from community builder to AWS hero, how she got there, and also doing an awesome demo around generative BI. So stay tuned for what that's all about. So we'll bring on to the show Wendy.
Oops. Hi, May. Hi, Mai. It's great to see you both. Yeah, thanks for having me, and thank you everyone for joining this afternoon, wherever you are in the world, where it's good evening, good afternoon, and good morning.
Awesome. Thank you for joining, Wendy. Tell us a little bit about what you do, and how did you get into your role, and tell us a little bit about your introduction.
Yeah. Oh, such a big question, May. Thank you. So yeah, a little bit about me. I'm a data nerd. So I've been in the data space for about 10 years, more than 10 years. I'm a data analyst at the moment in government, but I've been a data scientist for an AI startup. And over the last few years, I started off as an AWS community builder. Around about October 2021, had a great opportunity to join the AWS community because I saw a LinkedIn post from AWS community builder John Bonzo. I thought, okay, let's apply. I'd be interested to, find out more about this tech community and how I can contribute and, make a difference for women in tech and also analytics. How can I, contribute? And I love to write blogs as well. So that's me.
That's awesome. I guess getting into the journey from being a community builder, contributing to the community, and you do a lot of other community activities throughout your career. And you do also like learning and teaching, new technology or new tech stack to other people. If you were to give advice, what is the most important skills to learn this year in 2024?
I think, that's a great question, May. I think in 2024, most in demand is also a combination of soft skills and also technical skills. So practice your public speaking, influencing skills, how to build good relationships and communicate with team members to get projects done. But then also on the technical side, it's always interesting to also have analytical skills. That's one of the top 10 skills on LinkedIn Learning Report for 2024. And also cloud computing that will help you stand out as a data analyst and a data scientist, to have an understanding of these hard IT skills as well, to help you understand databases and work well with data warehouses as well.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I want to know from the audience, like if you're watching online from Twitch stream or YouTube or LinkedIn, what is one of the most important skills that you think you learn in 2024? Let us know in the chat. I think like with all the new technologies that's happening, like you said, generative AI or the AI ML, that's definitely one of the top skills that we've seen around the industry, around our customers, and everything that's happening around us. It has been one of the top skills, right? But still, we still have to have the other core skills, like you said, cloud computing, security, all of the core skills are also important as part of the journey as well.
Yeah, totally agree with that, May. So cloud foundations, definitely if you're starting out in cloud, have a look at that. And we've got another Twitch show around that as well. So covering some cloud foundations, Monday afternoon or Tuesday morning, wherever you are. But yeah, you mentioned a good point. Generative AI has been all the rage. So how do you stay on top of generative AI? And I do have a question, but Yeah, why is the community important to you, Wendy?
Oh, community is so important because during like the pandemic, when we're under the lockdown, it just sort of accelerated the need to have community, a sense of belonging as well. And also, it's about sharing information, and it's also making impact and connecting with people all around the world. So, for example, I'm part of several digital communities. Such as used to be AWS Community Builders and also now AWS Heroes. So it allows me to connect with people across different time zones, gather different opinions, share expertise, help each other out to solve problems. And also just it's been amazing just to connect with people on social media like Twitter, LinkedIn. And I think we connected on social media before we actually met. When I met you both at the AWS Summit in Sydney. So it's quite amazing.
Yeah, definitely. I agree that the community is super important. May, you might have some more questions for Wendy.
Yeah, no, I would like to add like the fact that Wendy, like we met on LinkedIn first, so we connected. We saw your posts and all the activities going on the LinkedIn, and we're like, oh, that's really cool that Wendy is doing all the new, whether it's a blog post or whether it's a video learnings and all these sort of things, and then you connected on LinkedIn, and then that's how we become, we know each other, and now you become a guest speaker on our stream. So that's really amazing to see how other people are connected and then how you impact the community as well. Speaking of community, I know like what was the beginning of your journeys like as a community builder, and then how is it different to the data hero now? Like what was it looks like in the last 2 or 3 years before you become a data hero?
It hasn't really changed, May, so it's a really good question. I've just been consistent. I just love to write. So I specialize in writing and blogs because I used to be an editor on Towards Data Science on medium.com. I just love writing, and I love helping women in data science, running conferences, organizing events, and then just taking that passion, using that in AWS Community Builders, and being able to speak to different user groups like AWS Malaysia user group in the Philippines, and just leveraging on that. I didn't aim to be a hero at all. I don't know how I got selected, but thank you, AWS, for nominating me for different teams, and just being yourself, trying to help people out in the community, solve problems, sharing ideas on Twitter, on LinkedIn, being active, just being a source of support, just helping other builders. I didn't aspire to become a hero.
Yeah, that's awesome. For the audience who is watching, if you have any questions for Wendy or any questions around community builder or becoming a data hero, pop it in the chat. It is a good time to ask questions to Wendy, and also any questions related to AWS as well.
Yeah,
awesome, totally. Wendy.
Oh, I do have a few more questions. So what are you most proud of, Wendy, in terms of your work that you've done with Community Builder and AWS Heroes?
That's a great question. Oh, just being able to connect with people around the world. So being able to connect with the AWS community has actually helped me to, develop solid cloud skills, because, I'm still on a journey as well. Like I don't know everything. But being able to connect with leaders on LinkedIn and Twitter, because they say that who you hang around with, you become. So maybe I'll become a cloud nerd and a cloud expert one day. So yeah, being able to leverage knowledge through experts is something I'm really proud of, and connecting with people from North America, making friends across the world that wouldn't be possible without this digital online community.
Yeah, that's awesome. Love to know from the audience. Who did you connect with recently on LinkedIn or in person, maybe at a conference or something? So put it in the chat if you've connected with someone that made an impact to you in terms of your learning. Love to know.
Yeah, I think like sometimes I feel like being in Sydney or Australia, sometimes we left out a little bit from the other side of the world. And now that we can now connected through LinkedIn or like through the community groups, it makes a huge difference on seeing like what is happening. Sometimes you will, go and visit conferences and make connections with other people from across the world. It's different, maybe like, living in a Europe where all the countries are in one place and closer together, where in Australia it's slightly different. I guess maybe one last question, Wendy. So, what is the most important piece of advice which you gave to the audience today?
The most important advice, that's a great question, mate, is to keep learning. No matter what stage you are, no matter what role you're currently in, keep on building your skills and adding, especially cloud skills, to your toolkit, and just skills that really interest you, what you have a passion in. Start writing about it, producing videos, producing content about it. Because if we stop learning and we stop upskilling, we kind of fall behind. And we kind of saw that during the pandemic as well. So if you keep on learning and upskilling yourself, that will, help you advance further in your career and also your skill set, and, open more doors of opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess, like, speaking of learning, like, I'm more a visual person, so I watch a lot of YouTube. I consume a lot of content, like when I'm going for a walk, or sometimes, like, I think the blog posts are articles are really useful when I'm in the console and following step by step. But if I'm just like want to quickly learn something new, technology, consume a lot of a visual content as well.
That's good. Everyone's a different type of learner. So learn the way that suits you, that makes sense for you, whether you're visual, auditory, or like to read. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And Donna W934 says, they're a lifelong learner, retired. Yeah, love to retire and continue learning. That'd be cool. It's my dream at the moment, but yeah, I love learning as well. And May, what are you learning at this point in time?
I think, well, for me, like right at the moment, do you mean like right now?
Right now, yeah.
Right now, I'm learning about Wendy, and I'm looking forward to a generative BI. But joke aside, so I'm doing a demo on to rate a. I guess like when you're a developer and when you commit a code into a repository, and I'm building a demo to rate how good the commit are, how good the commit message, and how good the code changes. So it's slightly relevant to a code generation, but this is more like when developer write code, and then you can kind of say like, hey, your code has a security flaw, or your code is good, or there are vulnerabilities in your source code. So that's sort of a rating system. And also on the message that they put in when they do the code. So that's what I'm currently learning, using the large language model to tell me. And it also saves me sometimes, like I want to make sure that my code is a good quality code, even though I will produce it and not so good quality code. So that's what I'm learning at the moment. What about you, Mai?
Yeah, so a lot of customers are looking at building their own IDP, so internal developer platform, and there's always that, I guess you could call it friction between developers and the infrastructure folks, right? So how do we make it easy for both of them? And it's not just the technology, so what's the strategy behind it, right? So that sort of things, like I'm learning that the strategy aspect of it, the tools are, the easy part. And look, there's a good book. There's a good book by Gregor Pope around platform strategy. So I've been trying to get through that book at the moment.
That's awesome. What about you, Wendy? What are you like right now? What are you learning about new things?
Great question. I'm learning about a lot of generative AI capabilities within data analytics. That's sort of the space I'm in. And just helping people learn like how easy it is to incorporate it in their life as well, and hence the topic that I chose today. So really want to make an impact for developers and data scientists. So Gen AI.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just putting in the chat to the audience. Is there has anyone learned something new in recently? or anyone built something on AWS lately, let us know in the chat. I think, Wendy, speaking of learning, I think we should talk about the technical topic of this week.
Oh yes, it's Amazon QuickSight in Amazon Q. So I'll be sharing this with you with a quick demo. And basically, it's a new launch in public preview at the moment. They announced it at AWS reInvent 2023. And I'd love to share the capabilities and what we can do to transform data storytelling, especially in business intelligence, in helping you create dashboards very quickly, and also executive summaries as well.
Awesome. So now we can see the QuickSight dashboard. So tell us a little bit about what we're going to do today.
Yeah, so we're going to look at a data set which is open source. We're going to have a look at the Starbucks data set. And then if we have time, we'll also explore the Spotify songs data set, which is also available in Kaggle. We will build a quick dashboard, some data stories, and also I'll show you how to create an executive summary as well, if we have time. So,
awesome.
Yep. Sorry, interrupt me.
No, that's it. No, please go ahead.
Okay, great. So let's start by, before we get started with using Amazon Q in Amazon QuickSight, we need to actually, because it's actually in public preview, make sure that you're working in the AWS region, which is US East, North Virginia, and sign in with your IAM admin user. And then in QuickSight, what we'll do is we'll upload a data set. And we just navigate. So before we get started, to turn on the generative AI capabilities, a really important feature, make sure that you're using Amazon Enterprise with Q, and then you need to create an email address and also your account name. I've created my own account name, Coffee and Learn, here as well. If you navigate to your account, under Preview Manager, switch on Preview Q generative capabilities, and then click Save. So that's really important. And then now the screen will refresh and you can see we've got extra additional features, which is quite interesting. We can now create a topic, which is under beta. We can also create data stories, which is under beta. But if we switch off the slider, and now you can see Q, this hexagon, which I'll discuss later on. So Amazon Q is the business expert that can help you answer questions using natural language processing, which is fascinating for me to demonstrate to you today. So what we'll do is we'll upload a data set, and we just click on new data set over here. And you have a range of options. So you can connect to your data, whether that's stored in S3, from Salesforce through other databases as well. I will upload it just from my directory here, and I'll just click on upload. And we'll start with the Starbucks dataset. And then whilst this data is loading, it'll take a few moments. And let's preview our dataset. So what we'll do as a data analyst, we'd like to inspect our data. There's 23 rows. We'll check the data types. So you can see that we have beverages. We've got 3 categorical variables. And then we have strings. And then we also have some variables that describe the Starbucks data set, which are all numerical variables. And so once we're happy with our data set, we'll just save and publish after our preview. And then we'll also publish and visualize our data, which allows us to start creating visuals. So we just click on create. And what we'll do is we'll click on build visual. And what we need to do is we need to create our topic. So I'll provide a topic name. Let's call this coffee details. And we'll just link a topic to Q. And once we link a topic, that allows us to start authoring and creating our visualizations. And then the next thing we'd like to do, we'd like to activate Amazon Q. So we will click on this hexagon icon. And it's still preparing a topic, so we'll just give it a few moments. We'll wait for the process to complete. So it's just preparing the coffee details topic. So hopefully it won't be too long.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So I usually use QuickSight and then build my own visual, like manually build my own visual, but I haven't actually tried with Q.
Oh, that's great.
So within the QuickSight, so this should be interesting.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
And
it's anyone watching on the stream, have anyone tried Amazon Q or Amazon QuickSight before? Let us know in the chat. Give us the +1 if you have heard or tried Amazon Q.
and so now
Q
we've
for
got
builders.
a message.
Oh.
Yeah, everyone will give Amazon Q a go as well after this demo and try it. It's currently in public preview. So we've just received a status that now our topic is created. So let's go back and initiate Amazon Q. So click on this hexagon icon. And so we can see that it's linked. We have coffee details topic created. So we'll just go to topic. Okay, that's fine. We'll go back to QuickSight, and now we can just create our analysis. So we'll click on New Analysis. And we're going to use this data set that we've just created. So now we just click on to build our first visualization. We'll go back and we'll click on Build Visual. Oh, let's make sure, I'll just link to existing topic. So click Coffee Details. And then if I click on Q, we'll just start asking a few questions. We'll just wait for it. So I'm going to ask a question. So I'll type, what is the total cholesterol in my Starbucks coffee? So recently went to Las Vegas. There's a lot of Starbucks coffee and just wanted to analyze the Starbucks coffee today. So I'll just ask in natural language, what is total cholesterol mg by beverage? Okay, and then we'll just click the word build, and Amazon Q will actually build our first visualization. So we can see that it's already produced a bar chart. Yeah. And so as you can see, the Amazon beverage with the highest cholesterol is white chocolate. And then also you can navigate over here. If you're not happy with the bar chart, you can change the visualization to another chart.
Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I'd love to ask the audience here, what's your favorite Starbucks beverage? Or do you even go to Starbucks? Or maybe you're from Melbourne and you don't consider Starbucks as real coffee.
Yeah, well, that's true in Australia, but we have got people all across the world, so there might be a Starbucks drinkers on the stream. So let us know, what's your favorite Starbucks? Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know what's my favorite Starbucks. I think I'm a flat white person. I think that's the closest I can get.
Yeah, we'd love to know what your favorite beverage is. And then also, if we just hover over this chart as well, as you can see, if you click on this balloon, you can view the insights. So let's take a closer look at the insights. And it will tell us what the top 3 beverages are with total cholesterol and what the bottom 3 are as well. So you can get quick insights and then just to understand a little bit about your data.
Okay, Cloud1001 says G7 instant coffee. Yeah, instant coffee is good.
G7 instant coffee. Is it G7 the brand? I don't know.
And so what we'll do is after we created this first visualization, we can add it to our analysis. So let's add it to the analysis. And then I'll ask my second question, which is, what are the top 5 beverage categories by total calories? So we can take a deeper look as well into our beverages. by total calories. Put a question mark. And then if we click on build, our visualization will be built in just a few seconds. And now if we have a closer look, the top 5 beverage category by calories is Signature Espresso. Has anyone tried Signature Espresso in the audience?
No, I haven't.
And then followed by our second beverage with the most calories is Frappuccino Blend. And then
I definitely believe that. Have you tried the matcha frappuccino? Oh my gosh, it's so sweet. Well, yeah, some people like that though.
so it's 9,970 calories. So it's just another insight. And if you wanted to find out further insights, we just hover over this visualization and click on the balloon. And it will give us, just some interesting information about the top 3 and the bottom 3 as well. But now sometimes you might want to see if there's a relationship between some of your numerical variables. So let's see if we can plot a scatter plot. Scatter between, let's say, the total fat and total sugars. Let's have a look at the relationship. And then we'll click on build. So as you can see, Amazon Q is able to just interpret from natural language processing a different chart, and it produces a scatter plot. So we can see with 2 numerical variables, there is a close relationship, sort of highly correlated. So you can fit like a straight line through it. And then you can also have a look at the insights as well.
That's really cool.
Yeah, you can also do some statistics if you're from a statistics background. And we can also add this to our analysis as well. And then let's try one last question, and we'll ask if we just type the word beverage category. Beverage category with the highest total sugar by category. Okay, and we just click build. Yep. Okay, so we have, so now total sugars, highest sugar content is Frappuccino blended coffee.
Frappuccino.
Just in case anyone wanted to know.
I love Frappuccino. I love Frappuccino.
Don't give up your Frappuccino. And so
that's really amazing that you can just use the natural language and then build out that visual and able to find those correlation between the data set.
Yes, and then make sure you hover over the chart as well to have a look at additional insights. And you can always change the chart type as well to something else. You could change it into a table if you wish. So let's turn this into a table. Yep, you can turn it to a table, and then let's add this to our analysis. So I just wanted to check that we have 4, and then there's also with Q also suggests other questions that might be of interest to us as well, because it's scanning our data set, trying to understand our topic. So we could also select these as well. So how many beverages by category, by beverage, we can build this too. And then, so I think we've got 4 visualizations, so just quickly check and okay, we'll just add this to analyses. And then after we've answered a few questions, what we might like to do now is we'd like to publish our dashboard with our visualizations. And I'd like to show you something really interesting. So if you click on publish, we'll just give it a name for our dashboard. So for example, Starbucks dashboard 2. And then over here, we've got a checkbox which says, would you like to create data stories? That's a new feature with Amazon Q. And then you can also check this box to allow executive summary. This is a section which you might want to take note of under the publish section. So tick this box. And then we also have other advanced publish options. You can also enable ad hoc filtering as well. And then once you're happy with all these options, just click Publish Dashboard. And then the neat thing is, now that it's published, if we go back to Build and we click on Executive Summary, let's generate our Executive Summary. So let's summarize the data. Oh, it's not working today. If we click on this feature, if we click on this feature, it will generate an executive summary.
It means we're live, doing live demo.
It is really live.
It is a super live demo.
Let me try another one for you. So if we go dashboard one that I prepared earlier, let's see if we can generate executive summary. So if we go build executive summary, not this one. Let's try another dashboard that I prepared earlier. I didn't create one. Yeah, we are really live. Let's try data story. Let's create a data story instead. So we'll click on a slideshow. So this is when you want to present slides, and what you can do is we will ask a few questions. So we'll say, what are the top beverages? Top beverages at Starbucks. And they will even understand the typo as well. So let's just generate that. Okay, let's refine our question. Instead, unique beverages. Okay, markers verified. And so another feature I'd like to show you is to ask better questions. Let's create a few entities. So we'll just go on create, just click on create here. And named entities allows us to group our data. So if we click on named entity, just say we'd like to group sugars. And this would give us a better authoring experience as well. So if we just tap into like calories, which are related, and sugars, we can create a named entity for sugars and then click on save. Okay, and then we'll just go back to our slides as well. So we just wanted to create a data story. So we'll click on close.
So what's data story like, Wendy? What can we do with the data story?
Data story allows us to create narratives that we can include in our PowerPoint slide. So if we click on data story over here, let's create the data story now. So by creating named entities, we're grouping our data. So if we click on new story, if we say I want to create a slideshow, what I can do is I wanted to add visuals. So I'll select the visuals that I want to include in my presentation, in the slides.
Does this help you with when you are creating the presentation, like for your audience?
That's right. Yeah. So Amazon Q will read and scan these charts as well and try to create the narrative and the context and a story for the story that you want to build within your slide presentation. So make sure you select the appropriate charts. Yeah. And it will help you tell.
So does it actually come up with speaker notes as well?
Sort of, it gives you the narrative, you'll see. So we will select these, it doesn't produce speaker notes, but probably that's a suggestion, but it creates like introduction, the title, the main theme, by summarizing all of the visualizations that you create in your slide presentation. And you can also ask Q what type of presentation you like to create, such as I'd like to create like a marketing presentation, or viewing the top performance, or a strategic presentation as well. So after we select this, we'll just click on Add. And then what we can do is with Q, we will ask, create a presentation, a marketing presentation.
I think this could come in really handy if you would have to do the, create a content and then you want to present this data back to your team or to your customer.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's a nutshell. Could I show you the Spotify dataset instead? Because the executive summary is not working properly. Can we quickly, do we have time for a second demo, but using Spotify data?
Yep, we do.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we've got about 10 minutes before we wrap up.
Yep, great. So let's try, because I wanted to show you the feature in executive summary. So we'll navigate back to QuickSight. We will upload a new data set. So as mentioned, the Spotify songs data set you can actually locate under kaggle.com, which is open source. Let's click on new data set. And then I'll just upload popular Spotify songs.
Cool. While you're doing that, we've got a question here, comment here from W934. It would be nice if there was autocorrect spelling in the boxes. So that's a new feature request, I guess.
It would be handy. I can't spell most of the words.
So I've just uploaded the new data set. You can see some of the variables within Spotify include danceability, Apple Charts, liveliness, release date, and also artist count, artist name. And as mentioned, let's give this a quick name. So Spotify songs. And then if we click on Q, we wanted to build our first visualization. But before we build our first visualization, we need to create a topic. So I'll create a topic name, songs list. And then I'll link the topic to Q. Let me correct Spotify. And so we'll just take a few moments for the topic to be created in Q, which is called songs list. And I'd love to show you the executive summary feature again.
Yeah, I think that comes in like different types of audience that you present to things, or even just like a short high-level summaries of what all the data are without actually have to scan through everything.
Exactly. So natural language processing will help you create an executive summary because that's required in a report, like a formal report.
Yeah, definitely.
While we're waiting, love to know from the audience who's had to present something recently back to your team or to a customer or someone. Love to know. Put it in the chat.
Yeah, let us know if you have recently presented to your team, or I think that's a great question.
So we've just created our topic, and I'll just enter the first question just to build a few visualizations in Q. So we'll ask who went to Taylor Swift concert in Sydney? Is anyone from Sydney?
I went there, so it might be I'm the only one in Sydney. But if anyone on the stream from Sydney who went to Taylor Swift concert, let us know. But I went to the concert. Did you go, Wendy?
No, I wasn't able to get tickets, but I'd love to. So you can see the top Spotify songs played on Spotify is Cruel Summer and Anti-Hero. So I'll just add that to our analysis, and I'll just ask a few questions as well. I want to create 3 more visualizations. What are the top songs for danceability? Okay, and we'll click on build. Do you have another question that you'd like to ask regarding the songs, May or Mai?
What is?
What are the
Oh,
most
go
played
on.
songs? What are the most played songs globally?
Yeah, what are the most played songs? Good question. Most played songs. Was it on Spotify?
Yeah, on Spotify.
I'm really bad with songs, so let's see if I know any. Let's see.
Yeah, 7. Does anyone know 7?
I
Top
don't
two.
know 7. What is it?
Let's have a look at the insights. Yeah, 7 by Feet Leto, As It Was, and Flowers. I haven't heard of these artists, these songs before, but let's add it to our analysis. Does anyone have
That's
one more
very
question?
interesting.
Yeah, any other question asking of the data? About the most released, the artist that released the most albums?
Yeah.
Okay. Click on build.
Let's see.
Okay, so I didn't quite understand this question, so let's refine our question. So I'll just click on the second one, total release day by artist. And then this is a table, so I'll just click on build. And I'll click on add analysis. I want to add that to the visualization, and I'll just check that we have 4 sheets. Let's ask one more question. So the song with the most beats per minute. Okay, I'll just add this to analysis, and then once we're happy with this, let's I'll just delete this visualization. We will publish our dashboard, and as mentioned, we'll give our dashboard a quick name. So Spotify songs.
I want to see what's the exact summary is going to come out.
Yeah, so we will need to check this box, allow executive summary. We'll click on publish dashboard. Okay, and now that it's published, you can see we've got 4 visualizations that we've just created.
Yeah.
And then click under the drop down and let's click on executive summary. And now it seems to be working. Q's generating out.
It is working now. Yeah.
So let's give it a few moments to generate.
I'm thinking of a use case for myself on a quick site, and then exact summary. I have a deck to prepare, and I might probably try this, Wendy.
Yes. Okay. Just ask Q a new best friend. So you can see if you have a look at this executive summary, you can see it summarized the data. If you can't see it, let's copy this. You can copy to clipboard as well, which is really good. So for example, if I just scroll down my sheet, just want to show you, let's copy and paste this executive summary. You can see, can you see my screen? Oh no, you might not be able to see my screen. No, yeah, you can have a look at this executive summary, and you can just copy and paste into your slides as well. So you can see how succinct it is. And does anyone have any questions? So this is really, it's just really scanning the data, the visualizations that you've just created. And so now we can proceed and have a look at creating a data story. And so this is when you're creating your marketing presentation or tech presentation. So we'll click on slideshow. And so what happened is you just need to select the visuals. So we can just check the box. I'd like to create narratives to build my slides as well. So click on add.
Narrative will be super useful. It comes in handy.
Yes. And then you can create, okay, like marketing presentation. Then if we click on Q. We can ask questions about the data over here as well. And let's see, there is a functionality. I wanted Q to create a presentation. So let's just go back to the file. So there's a feature whereby within data stories, it will create a presentation for you. It should be activated on the right-hand side, but it's not happening. It's just giving me like asking questions, which we can dive deeper into the data to understand.
Yeah.
You can, ask questions to drill further, help me to understand, like danceability, for example, danceability and energy. And ask a question of Q regarding the visualizations that we've just created.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it couldn't answer this exact question, but it's trying to see if we can ask a different question as well.
Yeah.
So, and then also, as mentioned, we could create name entities. If we group our data, we might be able to ask better questions to author the topics as well. So if we just click on name entity, let's group some of the variables. So for example, energy. So if we just drag beats per minute, energy, and danceability. And so we're creating a name entity, grouping some variables together, and click on save. Oh, is case insensitive. Okay, let's not click energy, but we'll click these two.
I think it's the entity name.
Oh, okay.
And
oh, yes, entity name, energetic. Okay, let's name it something else. Okay, let's put energy back in and click on save. Okay. Let's untick energy.
Let's try it again.
Let's try it again. Yes, it happened. Oh, doesn't seem to be working in the demo today. Let's try another variable. Let's try, instead of energy, let's group, say.
We can group it. Oh yeah,
like
beats.
Liveliness, maybe, and danceability. So let's group these two. They sort of have similar meaning, and we'll click save. Oh, it's not updating, but in a perfect world, it does save. So, so that's in a nutshell. Does anyone have any questions? We can create a presentation as mentioned, but you know how to create your executive summary, author and ask questions, and keep on diving deeper to ask further questions.
Yeah, refresh the page, says Rainer Cloud. I'm sure you've tried that. We're trying it now.
Oh, that's a good tip there, Rainer Cloud. No, I think that's really awesome. I think we see the key features from the QuickSight and Q and be able to ask. I think the most important one for me is like my takeaway is you can ask natural language just like you usually talk to a person and ask insight about those data, especially when the data is huge. And I don't really know the data in that case because it's like a huge amount of data, and be able to summarize it for you and digest that information really quickly. I think that comes in really handy, to be honest. Yeah.
Yep, that's good to hear.
Yeah, 100%. And as a non-data person, I think it's easy to navigate rather than having to do that via Excel or even other third-party BI tools, right? So I'm not a BI expert, so really easy to get some insights quickly.
And just ask questions just as you would in a conversation to a friend. So think of Amazon Q as your business expert and your best friend.
Yeah, and also like creating the summary, creating a slide deck for you, and be able to generate that narrative. Sometimes you got the graph, but then you're like, okay, how do I summarize? And then what are the key points in the graph? And it just gives you a bit of a a starter thoughts to create your presentation. It won't replace the whole presentation, but it gives you a thoughts like, oh, maybe I should highlight that as a human, I don't realize it, but the machine can recognize that this is the key points you might probably want to highlight to your audience. I think that's really interesting.
And it also provides recommendations in the slides as well. So hope you get a chance to explore it and try it out as well in public preview.
Yeah, really cool. I've been dropping links, Wendy, as you are speaking. So if you are interested more about the Amazon QuickSight and also Amazon Q, please go and check it out. There are blog posts that Wendy linked to, and also all the details and a blog post around the Amazon Q preview as well in the QuickSight. So please go and check it out. But as we're getting close to our live streaming time, I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you, Mai, for hosting the show today. And thank you, Wendy. That was a really insightful on the QuickSight and Q, and really appreciate every time we ask for, to present and to be part of this community. You never say no, and you always say yes. So I really appreciate your time here.
Thank you, May. Thank you, Mai. Thanks for having me. I'm really honored to speak today and showcase Amazon QuickSight Q.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in, and hopefully see you at Summit.